Okay, so I think we've gone live now. This is our first FAR discussion. My name's Lance. Also, I've got a whole bunch of other names. You might know me as Clint or FAR2D2. And I'm one of the admins with the Facebook FAR group. So I'll introduce the other people we've got here. We've got Paul. Right, Paul, do you want to say hi, introduce yourself?
Yeah, g'day, Paul. I originally started the Facebook group back probably about 6 weeks ago. Look, just as a way of getting around hot copper, bullshit, etc., etc. So, look, I think it's a great group, and there's a lot of good people on there. So, it's just something that will be good to continue.
Oh, good. That's good, Paul. Paul had a few problems with getting on before, so we're just giving him a bit of hassles about that, but he's with us. Well, we've got someone else here with us as well. Edward, do you want to tell us a bit more about yourself?
Yeah, I just joined the Facebook group, investing in FAR and learning from all the awesome people about everything on the oil and gas industry.
Good, and listening to all the tweets and so on. So first of all, I think it'd be a good idea to give a big disclaimer, just so nobody gets angry at us. We're not brokers, we aren't financial advisors. I don't have any qualifications in the financial services industry. So do not follow our advice. If you do follow our advice, well, we aren't giving any advice, but if it sounds like we are, give yourself a little tap on the head. Any successes or any failures you have, we aren't responsible for. Okay, so do your own research and invest at your own detriment or success. So there's a lot that we want to talk about. Some of the things we're going to save for later next week, where it's a bit more formal, a bit more structured. There is apologies sent from Aquaman, also known as Johnny. He's got personal things to work with at the moment. I think very normal stuff like family and work, and like most of us, we've got other commitments to do. So he's probably going to be here next week, and hopefully have some more exciting things to say. So I think I'm going to throw it off by saying, I'll throw it to you guys. I might throw it to Paul first on the recent just drop in the oil price, and what are your comments to say about that? You there, Paul? Paul's decided to. Paul's flatlined. Let's throw it to Edward. I'm sure Paul will come back. You there, Edward?
Yeah.
So what's your comments? Got anything to say about the recent drop in oil and pretty much the entire oil and gas majors just going red across the board?
Well, I guess OPEC, by not cutting its production, is getting the effect done. Where they want to get all the fracking producers in the US to shut down, basically. So we will see low prices in oil till, I guess, throughout the next year.
Next year, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard any wacky conspiracy theories? Because I've heard heaps of different reasons as to why they cut it. Even someone saying that they wanted to cut out the ISS, or apparently they're smuggling oil, I think, into Turkey and making money off it. So, yeah.
Sure, and Hitler is alive as well, somewhere in the Andes or somewhere. I mean, yeah, sure.
I'll just say Hitler's alive.
Yeah.
Paul's just dropped out, but I'm sure he'll connect back in. I'm just going to start and say a little bit about our share registry. So we've, I think, pulled together all of our shares, and Edward's played a pretty big part in that. If you've had a look on that Google spreadsheet, all of those, the sums, the maximum share count, the histograms, and also the ASX price lookup for that spreadsheet. Edward's responsible for that. We didn't ask him to do that, so I want to say a big thanks to Edward for taking the initiative to help make that a little bit better and a bit easier for everyone. 2.46% makes us unofficially about the 5th largest shareholder. So, as a group. I said in one of my comments that it's a bit more than just bragging rights, because with that we can actually start to get the attention of some other people. I'm not going to mention names, but you can probably guess who it is. But probably the more popular other shareholder out there, we've been able to. One of our members has been able to get in contact with, specifically regarding our group. So he's going to have a further discussion, and I'm hoping that we can have some kind of alliance where, if the need to vote a certain way, is required, we can basically issue a directive. I mean, we can't force anyone to vote a certain way, but what we can hopefully do is share information between the major number one shareholder and our group. So I'm hoping that will obviously play a big role. The other thing that having 2.46% of the shares going to allow us to do is hopefully get a bit more attention with Kath. Not that we actually need that though, because Kath is probably the only CEO I know who will actually respond. If you send her an email, first chance you can get, she will respond. I've been lucky to see a couple of emails which people have sent Kath, and she is transparent and she's very happy to respond. Have you seen any other CEOs like that who are just happy to communicate with the individual shareholders, Edward?
No, not that I know of.
Not really, no.
Yeah.
I won't mention other companies, but I'm sure people can think of plenty other examples where the shareholders get treated like a mushroom, fed shit and kept in the dark. But that's certainly not the case with Kath. So, are you there, Paul?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I'm just. I actually lost connection there for a bit, but I'm back now, and I don't know, my dongle's giving me grief, but I'm still here.
Good. I'll just make a comment. It says I can see that we've got 3 viewers here. So I'm hoping that's people who aren't us 3. Hopefully viewing through the YouTube stream. If those people can hear me, if you do have any questions, you can post them up in the Facebook group if you'd like to ask us, and we can have a chat about that. Let's have a look there. Just fixing up your webcam there. So what we were just talking about a moment ago, Paul, is basically the transparency and high level of communication between Kath and the shareholders. So,
yep.
Have you seen any other? You've been in FAR for how long now?
Look, since about 2005. No, sorry, 2009. I started first bought a little parcel.
Paul, could you repeat that? Just your audio cut out just for a moment there.
Yeah, sorry about the connection. It's crapola. Yeah, since about 2009. But look, I know there's a lot of other people out there that have been heaps longer. But I have seen a few, been in the company and seen quite a few ups and downs. I always look at the chart, the 10-year chart, and it's pretty much like a roller coaster. So, but yeah, look, I've only been doing shares since about 2007. I'm no expert, just here to make money like everyone else, I guess.
Would you like to tell? I think I've been speaking with Edward. Edward's been in a little bit longer than I have. You think he said since August, and I've been in for the last couple of months. But you've been in for 10 years. Can you tell us about? Sorry, Edward?
No, sorry. Go ahead.
Do you want to tell us about your Cora experience and what was happening leading up to the Cora well?
Yeah, there was a lot of hype, a lot of comments on Hot Copper and some other sites about the success of the product used to find oil. It was very positive. I think there were some reports of 50% chance of a successful find. However, proved wrong. So, and as a result, the share price went down considerably.
It went down. Yeah, I had a bit of a. I won't go into details, but I did have a chat with Paul about this behind the scenes, and I said, with such a drop in price, what did you do? And Paul said, you couldn't sell them. You just had to go through. But hopefully, there's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel now after all of that.
Yeah, the old portfolio was well into the red. I unfortunately didn't have any stop losses, but it was just such a knee-jerk reaction. It it all happened so quick within days, and yeah, I wasn't going to sell at a significant loss, so just held and rode and rode and rode, and here we are. So those losses have come back to me now, so I'm sitting in the green, which is good. I'm very happy.
Good. So you're not worried about that. I was nicknaming it Black Friday last Friday when we found out that there was no more oil in the primary objective for SNE1, and
Yeah.
I think a few people shat themselves, and obviously then we went down to what was it 8.9 or so, and but then that's recovered. But we're back up to 10, and it was all good. And now suddenly the oil prices has dropped, so there's a bit of uncertainty there as well. So I'm gonna hijack the screen just for a moment, just to show people. One of the good things about Google Hangout is that you can share screens as well. So I'm just going to bring up this window here. I'm sure most of us have probably had a look at. Go on.
Sorry, mate. Sorry to cut you off here. The whole point of this exercise is to see how it works. Like, this is only the second time I've used it. I know, Clint, you're a bit more used to using it, but look, I'm not all that crash hot on the computer. But yeah, it's just a way of getting things out there, something different. And look, there was some bugs, and I've dropped out of reception. Now I'm back. Now it seems to be working okay. But yeah, it seems like a good format to get some news out there.
That's good. Let me show you this, Paul. I was going to say, I'm sure a lot of people have had a look at the oil majors and the price. Let's just going to switch screens here. So if anyone viewing, they should be able to see the screen that I've got. I'm just going to use Google Finance. So let's bring up Pan Energy. So what happened to them? Well, yep, as you've all seen, they've dropped. And there was pretty much a steady drop, and pretty much all of the oilers, once they had that initial drop on open, they pretty much sort of stayed a little bit stagnant. Sorry, a bit steady. But yeah, red across the screen. So this is just sort of I think some European oil companies. If I put in, let's go Woodside. Yep, same again as you'd expect, and more Australian oil and gas. All right. So if you can hear me, Paul's just messaged me again. He said that he's dropped out. I'll keep talking, and I'm sure he'll join back in. And lastly, what was it? So we've had, let's have a look at Chevron. Okay, so Chevron had a bit of a drop. So did all the other guys, and they'd only traded till about 1:30. I think they don't trade for as long. I think it's a Thanksgiving holiday or something like that in America. All right. So Brendan's just messaged me and said that he's viewing. So there's probably going to be about a 1 minute delay as well between what we actually say and what you can hear, as I've used Google Hangouts before. And if you've got a question, you're welcome to do so. There's also a Q&A app, we'll say, so you can ask questions, and hopefully we can respond. So next Sunday, we're probably going to have a couple more people on here. Aquaman hopefully will be here. I know there's a few people wanting to hear him, and we've also looking to get some other people who have a bit more to say, or a bit more experts on it. I've got a chartist that I'm hoping to line up. And welcome back, Paul.
Yeah, awesome. I love Optus. There's a sponsorship deal there.
That's right. There's a sponsorship deal. we could offer advertising on here. So you're welcome to. We'll plug your website, or we'll plug your. We might be able to plug Hot Copper. What do you reckon the price should be? What, 1,000, 10,000 far shares? We'll give them a minute plug. Yeah. Yeah,
freedom of speech, mate. Yeah, awesome.
Freedom of speech. Good.
Sorry, mate. I missed what I was offline again. You were just discussing a few things.
That's right.
About upcoming charters.
Yeah, what I was saying is hopefully on Sunday we'll have a couple of others on the panel. So we can have a bit more, a few more different viewpoints about what's happening. Let's have a look. We did a poll up on. Let's have a look. I'm just going to switch screens again so you guys can see. Okay. So if I switch over to Facebook, we had the poll up, and the question was asked. Oops, where is it? Okay. So in the upcoming FAR TV live discussion, what topics would you like to hear most of? So FAR's future in Senegal. Looks good. Do you want to have a talk about that, Paul? Have a bit of a brief talk about that, and then, I don't know, we can speculate about FAR stock market share price activity, not that we can see into the future. And then we'll talk about when and why we're probably going to hear news in about January. All right, so FAR's future in Senegal. I know one of the big questions on people's mind is that are they going to to switch back? Okay, so are FAR going to move into production, or are they going to sell out their stake in Senegal and move on? What would you like to start, Paul?
Right, there's a number of options there, isn't there? Mate, I don't really know what the company are going to do, but they must have their ears open for offers. There's been some chat about offers being made or an offer, but of course we can't confirm any of that. But if there was an offer, what price would people be happy at? That's up to the individual person, I guess. I know I've got an idea of what I would like, but the chances of that happening, who knows? So,
go on, throw it out there. Go on, throw it out
look,
there.
Mate, if they said $1, mate, I'd be pretty happy with the amount of shares I've got. So that's just me, but I can't see getting an offer of $1 anytime soon, because I think there's too much opportunity there. The company has a lot of potential, a lot of opportunities exist. So, and I thought it was amazing. We found one lot of oil, let alone two. And I've been researching about how many companies have found 2 lots of oil within a month. And I can't find any others that have done that. So, but then again, I haven't researched all that hard either. There probably is, but someone might know. Someone might be able to enlighten me. But yeah, looking very positive in regards to Senegal.
Yeah, things we know for sure is that we know that we've got huge oil reserves. Okay, so I know that currently they're still pre-contingent sort of measures, but in the emails that I've read, and certainly the bits and pieces, Kath Norman's got no doubt that both are going to be of commercial viability. Another very interesting thing I'm just going to touch on is the values. Most of you have probably seen this out there, but the values that FAR gives, the P50 values and things like that, have to be recoverable. Whether I think Khan can say what the P50 values are without the recovery rate as well. All right, I think Paul's just dropped out, so I'll keep talking on that one. We know that ConocoPhillips have the right to be operator, so they're probably going to be looking at that. Lots of people say, from what I've read, that Conoco don't like to mess too much around with the small folks. They like to have major control. So, I mean, that's great. I think that's a good thing, because then there's the potential for Conoco to give us a nice big payout for our chunk in Senegal. And the other thing as well is the appraisal wells. I think pretty much it's certain that FAR are going to stay on, and they're not going to sell until it's appraised, and not until we've got a commercial rating, because they know that they're onto something big. And I think from reading the public emails between Tim and also Aquaman, that I don't think he wants to sell out before we get to a commercial grade. How you doing, Paul? You there? All right, good to see we've got 4 viewers on the chat as well. So it's good to know that we've got a bit of an audience. Let's see if we've got a message from Paul coming through. No. All right, so I'm not sure if Paul's going to be coming back or not, but I think I'll end on this note. If you've got any questions or if you've got any things that we'd like to talk about in detail, feel free to post them on the Facebook group. Even if we can't answer them ourselves, we'll try and get someone on who can. Or if you think that you've got something to add to the discussion here, definitely message me and we can organise getting you here on Sunday so you can put your 2 bobs worth in. I know that there are a lot of people who just like to sit back, even on Hopper, and don't participate. So just got a message, so just bear with me 1 second. Okay, where are you, Gumnut? Let's have a look. Okay, so Gumnut's just got a message. Any thoughts on geological link between Africa oil, Gambia, and far Senegal leases? All right, so geological link. I'm not a geologist. I'm a scientist of some degree, but I'm not too sure about. I'm not too sure about if you're talking about the geological structures. So, sort of how likely we're going to have the same success based upon the blocks. But probably best to leave that to someone like Mandra. One of the other people we're trying to get on is Mandra, also known as David Cluen. So he's probably got a bit more to say about something like that. Certainly someone like Yar on Hot Copper would have something to say. But we've got Edward back, so maybe we can... Oh, we thought we did. So maybe we can see what his input is. Okay, so I think I might wrap things up there. This has hopefully been a decent sort of casual way to sort of get people familiar with the YouTube, the Google Hangout. Sorry, I've just got messages coming at me. If you've got anything to complain about, anything you don't like, send it through. We'll cop it on the chin and we'll try and make it better. If the connection's due to my Wi-Fi, I'll make sure I'm hardwired or something like that for next time. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.